So you're smart and successful in so many areas of your life, and you know that the relationship you're in is toxic, but you can't bring yourself to leave. Why is this? Of course, there's not one single straightforward answer. It is complicated. But getting an understanding of what is keeping you stuck is the first step towards doing what is right for you. The first thing that is keeping you stuck is probably the fact that you have invested yourself so heavily in this relationship. This investment could be financial, of course, but it can also be your investment of time and emotions. Maybe you bought property together or other assets. Perhaps you started a business together, or you could have taken them into your business. Whatever it was, when you made that investment, you were full of plans and hopes and dreams. But now you've realised, or are starting to realise, that they didn't share your goals and your values. They were in it for what they could get out of that investment. That's a really bitter pill to swallow, and maybe you've been explaining away their behaviours and decided that you want this enough so that you alone can carry everything through. But this will have been at tremendous personal cost to you, probably more so than you even realise. Just walking on eggshells or managing situations to prevent them from blowing their top or giving you the silent treatment has put your whole system under enormous stress. You've been in that flight or fight response 24/7 for probably years. And we were not designed to live on this flight or fight response. It was designed to help us get through acute stress and traumatic situations. So this means that your whole system has been under pressure, and you are probably suffering in your health. You certainly can't think clearly when you're in this state of emergency response. So you are not yourself. You are not living and reacting in the way that you could. You're not achieving your full potential in any part of your life when you are in this sort of response. Your gut is telling you that this isn't right, this isn't healthy, this isn't how it should be. But there's also a little voice telling you that you'll lose so much if you walk away, and trying to convince you that you are managing to keep everything going, you are juggling all those balls, and you can keep going in this way. There's also that reminder and those thoughts that you've invested so much of your time and so much of your energy, so just keep going. The next major block is your beliefs and your hope that this person is going to change. You tell yourself that if you just keep going, then eventually they too will see the positives just as you see them, and they will change. They will go back to being the person they were when you first met. There's often a conflict inside of us between our gut feeling and our conscious thinking and our willpower. This is called cognitive dissonance, and it means there is this internal conflict, two opposing thoughts that can't be reconciled, and this creates a permanent state of turmoil for us. We don't like what our gut is telling us, so we override it. But if you are in a relationship with a narcissist, a sociopath, or a psychopath, I can tell you with virtual certainty that they are not going to change. The mask they were wearing when you first met them has slipped, but they do put it back on from time to time to reel you back in. But the real them is the person they are without that mask, the person they are behind closed doors, the person your gut is telling you that they are. Before we move on, I want to share with you that I have been through this turmoil personally, and I've spent the last 9 years helping people overcome toxic relationships and emotional trauma. My videos are all about those topics, so make sure you subscribe if you want to know about future videos I put out. The next block is reduced self-esteem. Toxic relationships can wear us away and reduce that confidence in ourselves and that self-belief so that we don't actually think we can manage on our own. We often become codependent within toxic relationships, and the abuser gives us enough good bits to keep us interested, to keep us coming back. It's not all bad, otherwise the decision to leave would be an easy one. The intermittent abuse and love bombing is what keeps us hooked. And studies have shown that victims of narcissistic abuse crave the narcissist just like a drug addict craves their drugs. We become convinced that we can't live without this person, we can't manage without them in our lives, and that keeps us stuck. Another reason you're reluctant to leave is that as humans we are wired to not want uncertainty. Even though we know, as we've already seen, that we are in a toxic relationship, we know this relationship, we know this person. There is a certain comfort that we have from being familiar, and we will have developed maladaptive strategies to cope with the trauma. Leaving equals uncertainty for most of us, and we can easily find reasons why now is not the time to leave. We may not think we can afford to leave. We may believe that our business will suffer. We may feel that we don't want to uproot or upset the kids, and many more reasons besides. The truth is, there will never be a perfect time to leave. A toxic person will never make it easy for you to leave. It is scary. It isn't straightforward. But with some careful thought and planning, for most people, leaving is the best thing that you can do for you, for your sanity, for your health, and for your children if you have them. I've created some extra resources to help people take that next step, so check those out in the description below. And otherwise, I'll see you in my next video. Take great care until then.